Yeah.
Honestly, the people here are more of a natural disaster than the actual natural disasters.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, are we good to go?
indeed. So, let's see. So I've got all of your rouse checks. Don't need one from Colt, so that comes out to... Alright. I suppose once more we shall do this in order of highest to lowest. The day is December 31st, 1997. The dawn of a new year. And the beginning of a very important event for Vampire Society. All of you have been invited to attend the annual Elysium of the Prince of Seattle. A high honor, and one that you do not refuse. And as the sun dips below the horizon, Mel, the instant that the last motes of sunlight die on the streets above, it's almost as if knowing, you feel yourself snap awake from the sleep of death, rising from your resting place. The anxiety, the mixed emotions of this extremely important day stirring you with not a thought of hunger coming to you. Would you mind telling me how you prepare?
This is a big event, but Mel has not really got any strong understanding of expectations in like dress code and all that. So they're
Mhm.
probably just throwing together whatever outfit they have, and they're bringing their bag along and stuffing it full of more assortment of plants and herbs that nobody really understands anything about. So, getting their clothes dirty uh, in the garden, probably.
Naturally. And
Um,
as you do, you can see out of the corner of your eyes the sight of a shadow writhing. And from it, wreathed in darkness, you see Mariana, your sire. You seem nervous.
I'm trying to decide if I want to brew some of these into a form of acid that I could melt some vampire brains on if I need to.
Well, if you're planning on bringing tools, I suggest you hide them well.
Yeah.
So long as we uphold our decorum, the prince will not be imminent threat to us. He wishes to speak with us and wishes to issue an assignment. And this is going to be a very... Well... You don't know what an Elysium is, do you?
Is it like a fruit?
She, smirks at this statement, and she shakes her head. No, it's a gathering that the Camarilla likes to hold during important events. Consider it something of a political meeting.
This better not be black tie.
Well, I think, given the current scene, this is going to be a bit more of an eclectic gathering.
I guess I'll...
That being said, I should warn you. When we do speak with the prince, you should hold the utmost candor, the utmost respect. Unfortunately, in delicate political situations such as this, we are tied down.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll go clean up then.
Probably a good idea. Don't want to introduce my new protege looking like I just dug them from a fresh grave.
Mel looks at their arms and legs and is like, fair enough.
As soon as you're ready, we will be heading there.
Alrighty. They're still...
As
they don't make very much changes to their outfit. Like, they're still wearing the big baggy clothes. But to honor the importance of the event, they do have a ribbon hanging off of the side of their hoodie.
For sure. And as you equip yourself, you tie the nice ribbon to your hoodie, and you walk off into the night, blending in with the general revelry amongst the streets. We move to Vanitas. You arise from your slumber, a tinge of excitement, as this is a very special day for you on many fronts.
Indeed.
And considering you are going to be meeting a very important person and getting the recognition you deserve, there is little time for you to feel the pangs of hunger. Vanitas, how do you prepare for this event?
You will prepare by selecting or I'd say carefully curating an outfit. You would probably have Sebastian help tailor one to him.
Yeah, Sebastian helps take the measurements, goes back and forth. You have a whole team of seamsters working on a tailor-made suit for the evening.
Oh yes. I'm actually
Would you
drawing that right now.
Hell yeah. Would you like
Yeah.
to describe how the suit looks?
So I'm taking inspiration from a Met Gala outfit. So I will send the inspiration in actually. Oh, that's questions, not general. There we go. There we go. He will be wearing something like this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is the replica head included?
No. That would be
Fair
fucking
enough.
funny.
Yeah, you get this gorgeous long red robe with these brilliant jewels dangling from it in complex patterns.
Yeah.
The seamsters whip it up in no time. After all, you go all out and you only go for the best.
Mm-hmm.
And as you finish preparing, you see your sire arrive. Cigarette in holster.
Mm-hmm.
As she looks you up and down and says, "Well, I'm glad to see that you are prepared for the evening."
When am I not?
Never, of course. You are my childer after all.
What will you be wearing? The usual, I presume.
My dress looks good in every occasion, darling.
Well, I cannot sense any lies in there.
Scream, please. Scream. She is grabbing my arm and pulling me down. As you are, speaking with your sire, you actually see as, Sebastian comes back out and he says, "Hey, boss, some, cops are here. So they wanted to ask you a few questions,
Tell
they-
them I'll meet them on the second floor.
Sounds good." He, heads up the elevator, disappearing. Uh-oh. Sounds like you're in trouble.
Nah, not for long. I'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Well, I'll be waiting in the limousine. Don't keep me waiting too long.
You know I'm always on time.
She, turns and heads towards the elevator. And I take it you head towards the second floor?
Yeah.
And as you arrive, you see a few police officers. 3. One of them looks over to you, seeming to be the one in charge. And he says, Mr. Vanitas, right?
In the flesh.
Hey, so, there was a, incident last night, and, we wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Ask away.
It is my understanding that you called a...
I'm sorry?
Sorry.
No, you get
It is my understanding that you called a storage lot, asking for a delay on the sale event. Is that correct?
Indeed.
And you were on a trip at the time,
Indeed.
and you sent associates over.
Correct?
And what were the names of these associates?
Well, let me think. I tend to hire people that I know of. One of them... Let's see. Sebastian, do you happen to know the names of these individuals?
He looks over to you and he gives you this look of, am I telling the truth here, or...
No.
Oh, yeah, here, I'll actually get the, I'll get the, transcript of, I'll get the invoice. And that should have everybody's names, who was hired, how long, and what for. He
Thank you,
disappears behind a curtain, and the cop clears his throat and says, did you know these individuals well, or were they,
Business associate.
understood? And, were they able to carry out this walkthrough that you requested, or...
As far as I'm aware, yes. They had the walkthrough, they gave me the information I requested, and they left. It seemed to have gone off pretty quickly.
I see. Could you make me a manipulation persuasion check?
Sure. Let's see. Okay. That is... Oh, shit. That is 2 successes. One of them is the stars.
Was that on your... do you have any hunger dice?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. So...
Yeah.
He begins writing down in his notepad, and he says, okay, so they went through the walkthrough. Did they happen to purchase anything, during or after this walkthrough, to your knowledge?
Not that I was made aware of, no.
Well, to give you a little bit of background, according to the owner of this storage lot, an individual claiming to be your associate arrived. Tall, black hair, female, wearing all black. And he said that she had provided a gift, a exotic wine. We took a look at it, and it appears to be a common liquor store, bottom shelf wine. He consumed the bottle and says that he does not recall anything afterwards. Alongside that, apparently both of the security guards have no recollection of anything odd during the night. However, they awoke in the bushes right outside of the lot.
Hmm. Now that is quite
They were
troubling.
flirting.
They were indeed flirting.
Now, I've worked with them before, and I've never had such a disturbance with their work in the past, but I may have to speak with them. Granted, you will be as well. I shall provide you with the invoices.
Uh-huh. Understood. One more thing. The only item missing, according to the logs, was a Victorian era storage box.
Now, I don't recall them ever mentioning something about that.
I see. Well, at this point, Sebastian comes out and hands over the documents. The documents that you specifically requested. Giving a nod to the police officers, and he says, well, between you and me, there were some oddities. However, if you ask me, I think these guys might have had a little bit of a early New Year's party. All three of them seemed a little on the sauce, if you get me.
They were a little more strange than usual.
Well, unfortunately, their cameras seemed to have crapped out on them, so we don't really have any solid proof of what happened. This is mostly just a courtesy call. But, I'll let you know if we find anything, or if we have any further questions.
Do let me know if you require any more assistance.
Of course. Sorry for the disturbance, Mr. Vanitas, and, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
The officer tips his hat and walks out towards the exit, the other two officers following behind. And as that concludes, you head up towards your limousine, and as you step inside, we move to Avery.
Uh-huh.
Avery, you awaken. The pang of hunger filling you. As you have failed your rouse check, you gain 1 point of hunger.
Damn.
As you awaken, you notice that, for once, your sire, Aradia, is up before you. You see that she is hurriedly attaching new charms to her horns.
Is mine one of them?
Yes. And as you pull yourself from your resting place, she looks over and she says, "Oh, good, you're up."
Avery's just gonna look her up and down.
She looks back and forth and she says, I don't know if we're supposed to dress up for this."
Avery once again looks her up and down. So you're going the route of charms, then?
They're for, protection.
Uh-huh.
Yes. She says very flatly.
Avery's gonna shake her head and walk over to, her things.
Avery, how do you prepare for this, special meeting?
I have a picture of what she wears.
Alright. Ooh, okay.
That, except the undershirt is also black.
You don this very sharp, formal attire. Aradia looking at you with a sort of confusion, like, how is this any different than any other clothes? And she says, well, looks like we're going into the, wolf's den.
Could you choose a different choice of words?
Biters? No, we already have one of those.
We already have the wolves, too. Avery's gonna say, patting her on the shoulder.
Bear.
I
Bear
believe
den.
lion's den is the proper term of phrase.
What's a lion?
Yeah, they got the big hair. She says, playfully ruffling Aradia's hair.
You live for how
Like
long
it-
and don't know what a lion is?
Lions are not native to Seattle.
Yeah, you know, fair.
You
Never
mean
been to the zoo?
she reaches over to a rack of old brochures and pulls up one for the zoo, like one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
She's holding up a picture of a leopard.
Close enough. They got the big hair right here, she says, drawing around where the mane would be.
Big cats den. Understood. That is an apt metaphor.
So, are we going? Avery says, holding the door open.
She
Oh, I will add,
Hold-
Nova has a bow tie on.
Nova is sitting, a big grin on their face, looking dapper as ever. And Avery
Is Scream going too?
Scream would also
Scream
like
is,
to attend.
voicing Nova in the background.
Yes, Nova is very talkative.
Nova is crashing out.
Nova has actually not received their blood bond for the evening, and is currently begging. Are you done? Are you done shouting at me? You look like you're on crack. As you each step out into the night, Aradia pulls her cloak tighter around herself, very visibly uneasy. And we bring ourselves to a new phase. Silas. Are you there?
Can't believe he's fucking dead again.
Can't believe Silas is dead again.
God damn it.
Damn. He is still in his coffin.
I honest to God, thought you were gonna open it, like, in the middle of, like, the fucking dance floor at this thing. I
Oh, that
really
would be-
thought you were gonna do that.
That would be a disaster.
I am here.
Welcome back.
Welcome. So we for a brief moment we cut to a skeleton in a coffin, and then we slowly zoom up to another coffin. Silas,
Oops. Wrong coffin.
Yeah.
what do you remember?
Rebellion. Fire. Blood. My friend. And then nothing.
The blur coalesces together. The calm of the ancient castle that you called home suddenly shattered as mortals flooded in, torches, pitchforks, swords in hand, flames devouring centuries of research, centuries of knowledge, as those who you called your masters were slaughtered, overwhelmed by the massive horde. You remember a blade sinking into your chest. You remember falling onto the cold stone, feeling your life drain from you. You remember the embers, the smoke choking you. You remember your dear friend leaning over you, begging you to get back up and begging you not to die. A single sentence. I'm sorry. You remember the teeth sinking into your neck. You remember unimaginable euphoria followed by bitter cold, and then unbearable agony as you felt yourself die. Your soul devoured, your heart stopping, your organs seizing in a final death throw. And then death. What you thought would be the end. What you thought would be oblivion or the other side. Instead, you remain too broken to do anything, to say anything. You remember your sire and others dragging you into a coffin. The timbers falling in, still smoldering as it was slammed shut. The sound of heavy chains surrounding you. Locks. A final muffled promise. I will come back for you. And then the cold, silent nothingness. Torpor. Death. Oblivion. It feels like the blink of an eye to you. Like no time at all. And yet, at the same time, it feels like eternity. The fear, the not knowing what would be next. But you are jostled from your moment. And you feel a new agony stirring within you. A gnawing starvation. Worse than the starvation you knew when you lived on the streets of London. Worse than when you had gone weeks without food. Worse than you could ever have imagined. And you hear muffled noises from outside your coffin. The sound of locks breaking. Muffled speaking. A voice in a familiar tongue, yet a alien accent. Jesus, what are they trying to keep in this thing? And you hear yet another one of the chains slink off. And then you see a crack of light. The door to your coffin, a sharp metal object piercing into the side, prying the door. And as it opens, the light, blinding, buzzing, a light unlike anything you'd ever seen before. The hum buzz of fluorescence around you. For a moment, you see your hands withered and skeletal. And then, as you look up, you see a man in strange garb, a yellow helmet and orange jacket that seems to shimmer in the light. He stumbles backwards as he sees you. Holy shit, what the? What do you do?
I'm going to I think I'm gonna have Eyes of the Beast activated, so they're not my eyes, but they're. I guess I get to pick what they look like, huh?
Yeah. How do you describe what your eyes of the beast look like?
Hmm. Almost feline. Like they've got that slit, that black slit, but they can with the orange all around it.
The thin pupils peering into this man. The hunger swelling to a overwhelming height. The man seems to take all this in and become paralyzed with fear.
I'm going to spring out of the coffin, kind of put my feet against the back of it and use it to like push myself forward, grabbing him by the collar. Is there anyone else in the room?
That's a great question. So, because of your current state, I'm going to say that's going to be a, let's say, wits awareness check.
Okay.
And because you have a 0 in awareness, that's going to be 3 dice.
3 dice of what value?
3d10s.
3d10s.
And another mechanic, you're at 5 hunger, which means all of these dice are replaced with hunger die,
Okay.
which means certain things might happen depending on.
I got 2 5s and an 8, totaling to an 8.
2 5s and an 8. Oh, so that's 2 failures
not
and a
good.
success. You look around. You can't see anyone. The room is barren. A cold stone. A warehouse. That much you can recognize. similar yet different to the storehouses of your time. But as you try to drink the scenery in, you can feel this tug within you, this beast, snarling and gnawing, starving. Why worry about your surroundings when the prey is right in front of you?
Traitors, all of you. They gave you safety. They gave you a home. Like, opening my mouth to take a bite.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hanging.
Let me, I need to roll
no.
something for this guy.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to join the union.
Oh no.
I just wanted better pay.
That offends him even more. A union.
The word union snapping in your ears. This filthy peasant wants to unionize.
So you not only burned down and killed your masters, you unionized?
What? I didn't burn down.
Knuckles getting as
nothing.
wide as they possibly can with on this guy's collar.
I didn't burn down nothing. I swear. I just wanted dental. That's all I wanted.
Dental.
They said that they'd give us dental. They said that they could fix my teeth.
Ironic that he's mentioning dental as some vampires opening their mouth to hide
As
him.
he's staring into the skeletal maw of a starving vampire.
This is what happens when you join a union.
Your excuses fall on deaf ears as I bite down.
All right, you sink your fangs, and there's an immediate wash of hot blood over your tongue. You feel warmth within you. The overwhelming cold almost dulled for a moment as the heat of this mortal warms your body. Do you at all try to hold back, or do you drain this poor motherfucker dry?
Let's leave it the chance. Let's flip a coin.
Sure thing.
Do what Vanitas does.
Actually, if you want, you can make a willpower check.
I was gonna hold back, but what is explain a willpower check to me?
Okay, so I think, hang on. Let me grab the book. This is gonna be, because this is resisting an animalistic urge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a specific check. I want to make sure that I'm using the right stats. Let's see. Hunger. Compulsion. So let's say for the sake of this that there's the... Let's see. Okay. So let's say this is a... I'm sorry about this.
You're good.
Here we go. Oh god. Okay, so feeding frenzy. Okay, so you have to make a frenzy check. Wherever frenzy is. Here we go, frenzy. Frenzy waits for every vampire, a constant threat of their fragile peace. Outside circumstances usually provoke a frenzy, snapping the thin leash of the snarling beast within. The ultimate expression of basest drive. To resist frenzy, the vampire rolls willpower. Okay. So, your willpower is... Um... 4. So roll me 4 dice.
D10s.
Yes.
Okay.
And anything above a 5 is a success. Anything below... Or anything... Yeah, 6 and
full
above...
success. 4 above.
Oh, all 4
6,
succeeded?
6, 7, 9. Yeah.
6, 6, 7. God damn, not even any bestial criticals. Okay, so you manage to gain some presence of mind, realizing you are not where you once were. This is not one of those who betrayed you. He doesn't even look or sound like them. He is foreign to you.
As I drink the blood, my senses become clearer and clearer and
Yes. And specifically, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to give you the choice. So, you could take a non-harmful drink from this victim
Uh-huh.
at a which will slake 2 points of hunger for you.
You already got
You
the
can
flu.
you can risk the injury, or you can risk injuring the victim to get rid of 4,
Mhm.
or if you drain him dry, thus killing him, you will get rid of all of your hunger. So, because you rolled the maximum, I will allow you to choose.
Okay. So the options are a non-risk with just 2, you said?
Yeah. 2
And
allows
injure
you
is
to...
4 at all. Okay.
Yeah. So, a harmful drink from a human that risks death unless treated is 1 to 4, with 1 hunger flaked per turn. However, the human begins suffering aggravated damage equal to the amount of hunger slaked. So if you take 4 from him, he will be taking 4 points of aggravated damage, which is mortal wounds.
The person will be.
Yeah,
I would-
he is going to be in critical condition when you're done with him.
Okay. I think I'm gonna roll for this. As
Go
a,
ahead.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Even though I have senses, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, if you want to leave it up to chance, go ahead and roll.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop myself before he's critically injured. So it's gonna be a non-harmful.
All right. You begin draining blood from him. The hot, delectable vitae slowly revitalizing you. You can feel your skin beginning to slowly regain its lifelike wouldn't be the right word, but you are no longer skeletal as you feel the dehydrated muscle and flesh begin to revitalize. You begin to feel your mind slowly clearing, but you realize this mortal is not necessarily one that you want to kill, at least not yet. And so you stop. Your hunger still powerful, your beast still unsated, yet you are present in mind, present in body. You pull your fangs from him, closing the wounds upon his neck as you do so, and you see him collapse to the floor. A look of delirium on his face.
I'm going to release my mouth from his neck and then kind of study him for a second and then just let him go.
Yeah, he collapses to the ground in a dazed stupor. You're not entirely sure. He seems conscious, but he appears to be in shock. Perhaps some sort of stupor. He does not appear to be there in the present moment as you drop him.
As he falls, I'm going to fall to my knees, kind of looking at my hands. What did I just do? What am I? I'm going to, and then look at him and realize I assume he still is kind of bleeding from his neck.
So, a fun fact about vampires is that when they bite somebody, the wound, as soon as they pull their fangs from it, closes itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't do that.
You hear from the side of you footsteps.
I'm going to attempt to hide.
You're going to try to hide.
Yes.
All right.
As I'm in an unknown environment.
Here, 1 second. So go ahead and make me, since you're doing this quickly, I'd say probably dexterity stealth.
So 5 dice? 2 or 3?
Yeah. And, you're at 3 hunger rate, right?
Yes.
So 3 of those are, going to be hunger dice.
7, 7, 8, 7, 1 for a total of 3.
Okay. Well, oh yeah, totals don't matter. Anything above a 5 is a success. We count successes.
Okay.
Anything below is a failure.
Okay, so 4 successes and a fail.
All right, you do pass. As you immediately dive for a shadowy pillar off to the side, scurrying behind it, you hear a familiar voice. Silas.
Agatha?
What did you say?
Agatha, that's her name. That's the sire's name?
Oh, that is not.
Who's
the
there?
Name...
Who is it? Is that not who I gave you?
It is your sire. The name that
who did I give
I gave her is Eleanor.
Eleanor, that'll work.
So is that the name you say?
Yes. Eleanor?
Finally. After all these years.
happened? I'm walking out from behind the pillar. What happened? I was dead.
You step out and you see the face of your old friend, Eleanor Moore. Not a day older than she was when you first saw her, or at least when you saw her on that night. There is so much I have to explain to you. She steps forward. So much lost time. So much.
I'm
The
gonna.
cat.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
She steps up until she's face to face with you, staring into your eyes. The red glare of her irises almost burning into you. A look of shock, of relief, of joy. When the castle was besieged, many of us were slain, including you, but I made a choice. I made you one of us.
One of you now?
You. I understand if you hate me. I understand if you were dying. I had to make a choice. She stares into you almost as if trying to gauge what your reaction is.
I don't hate you. This will just take some time to get used to.
There's going to be a lot of things to get used to. But you will have all the time in the world.
I see. Now, where exactly are we? I assume she's not wearing period clothes like I would remember.
Actually, she is. She is
Okay.
dressed exactly as she is in the image.
In the image? Okay.
Minus the sword and the dagger.
Okay.
We are in America. The very westmost part of it. And you may want to brace yourself for this part. It has been over 150 years since I had to inter you.
Hundred and 50 years?
There was no time to... We had to keep you in a hidden place in the castle while we fled. Our clan was scattered to the winds. It wasn't until recently I was able to recover your coffin. And even then, there were countless complications. The world has changed a lot. There are technologies that were little more than the lofty ideas of fiction. There are things in this world that will make your head spin. The politics of kindred society have changed. The politics of your society have changed.
What of my family? What about everyone else?
Every mortal we knew has long since passed. Some of their descendants continue. Some within my service, but as for those of the castle, those of my kind, most were put to the sword. I'm certain others survived, but I have lost contact with them, and I have not been able to regain it. Be that by their intention or otherwise, I do not know.
See, guess there's no sense hanging around here then.
Indeed. Beyond the changes, I'm afraid you have been awoken at a difficult time. The city we are in is not ruled by our family. It's ruled by a governance called the Camarilla. They have been around for just as long, if not longer, but we have to play by their rules. And the regent of this city has summoned us. Summoned you.
Me
It is-
specifically?
It is tradition within their holding that all vampires who exist within must be accounted for, especially those who are here under their rule. You are Childer, an unknown quantity, technically freshly embraced as far as they are concerned. The Lord wishes to show you the way things are done here. He wishes to know you, know your face, and furthermore, he demands a favor of me, and that favor is that he requires a service from you.
And what is the service he requires?
He has supplied little in the way of details beyond the fact that he is in need of new bloods for a mission. He has also gathered some other freshly embraced kindred. They are assembling. It is New Year's Eve, and this lord has hosted a party which we are to attend.
Well, I guess we better get going then. The day's
She-
only getting older.
There's only so many hours in the night. She looks down at the poor the poor worker who is currently sprawled out on the ground. You
Is he
didn't
gonna be
kill him.
okay?
He'll be fine. I'll make sure he doesn't remember any of this. At worst, he might be a bit woozy for a few days. But you showed remarkable restraint for someone who has not fed in over a century.
Yes, well, I was never that hungry quite right after a nap.
She giggles at this and says, "Well, you still look rather, famished. As you look at yourself, you see that while most of your vitality has returned, you are still kind of shriveled. And, you look like somebody who has not eaten in months. But that is not something to worry about. The Camarilla prides themselves in their hospitality. I'm sure the opportunity to slake your thirst without doing damage will continue. throughout this night.
I would appreciate that, and I will show great gratitude to those that provide.
I hate to thrust you into the world of kindred politics like this, but these are strange times.
I never stopped you from dragging me along to your court sessions before.
Well, during those, you were less under threat.
Well, I think observing from the shadows has given me somewhat of a footing to start on, don't you think? Kind of like grabbing her hand and bowing to it.
You have certainly learned a great deal of etiquette. These people operate differently than our court did, but similar in most of the important ways. Be respectful, and this should end amicably.
Simple enough terms. Anything
Well.
else I should be worried about or at the immediate forethought? We don't need the coffin to come along or anything? Saying it as a joke.
We will be given ample time to return to our resting places. As a matter of fact, I've actually arranged a place for you. I'll have some of my servants move your coffin there.
That is most gracious of you, my milady. Thank you.
She smiles and says, "But of course." She holds out her hand and says, "Are you ready to see the town?"
Well, I guess we're not getting any younger.
Or older. And as you take her hand, the two of you walk out of this storage location. And as you step out into the streets, it is the Victorian mind cannot comprehend. There is light and sound, and the night is lit up with such grandeur that you are boggled. You see people walking the streets, in the middle of the night, a concept which you could not possibly fathom, especially considering the dangers of doing so during your time. You see, in horror, a McDonald's.
Oh no.
How terrible.
A monument to this new age.
A monument to
monument.
greed.
A monument to greed and gluttony. A monolith of grease. The smells, the sounds, all assailing your heightened senses. But you manage to withstand them. And as all of you begin heading towards this location, you will all see let's see. You will see a massive venue, a theater labeled More Theater. and I will send you images. As you, here, I'll drop it in general. As you arrive at the entrance, you can see a line stretching on. Tons upon tons of mortals who appear to be trying to gain entry with little luck. And you see what appears to be a VIP entrant. A strange-looking individual standing guard, wearing full security attire, their eyes covered by large black shades, which they are wearing in the middle of the night.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can
see.
That's
That is a
canon. He's
creepy
singing
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as each of you alongside your sires approach, you see the security guard look up at you, look over to your sire, look down at a notebook that they have in hand, and then step aside and gesture for you to enter.
You know, it's less on the nose than the last place, but still
Oh, you mean my place?
extremely ostentatious. Where did you guys get this kind of? And yes, I mean your place.
Well, immortality brings a lot of gifts, including plenty of time to get rich.
The four of you, or I suppose more accurately, the 8 of you, are all corralled together. The rest of the party will notice that Eleanor, your former associate, is now there with a very pale, very hungry-looking boy dressed in very, very, very dusty Victorian clothing. Colt, if you'd like, you could add your character to the character sheets.
I haven't got everything down, but I will add the picture of him.
For sure.
Add his picture. Actually, I'll throw it in general, and when I have the rest of it.
Sounds good.
Shit, I keep forgetting to drop Mel.
Gotta get the rest of those characters done, bro.
I do.
You see this man.
And as each of you are kind of moved to the side of the venue, you will see a small, mousy-looking woman in secretary attire come up. Evidently mortal, which is strange considering the people around you are evidently not. You see a veritable freak show around you within this main lobby. You see a group of individuals in robes who pull the hoods down, and they are, for most of you, the first time that you're seeing the vampire called Nosferatu. Each of you understanding exactly why they're called Nosferatu, as they are hideous.
Ah,
You can see various individuals of various. It's kind of difficult to notice clan. For most, apart from, you know, the ones with the very obvious marks of their clan. But you can see individuals who appear to be from all walks of life. You can see pale corpse-like individuals dressed in ragged, homeless attire. Others dressed in lavish, incredibly ostentatious clothing. The variance in individuals, in appearances, in walks of life is incredibly diverse, and yet all of them bear the same semblance of vampirism. Some of them you do see carry mortals in tow, thralls to your, or ghouls to your summation. And this woman looks over to you and she says, "You are the special guests of the Lord. You are
In the
welcome
flesh.
to You are welcome to enjoy any of the facilities supplied for the night. However, you are expected to be in the balcony. Balcony B. For the beach coming towards the end of the night. You will then be summoned for a personal conversation. The balcony box is at the end of the hallway. She gestures down towards a long hallway, which appears to have various entrances to the concert hall. There will be entertainment within the hall. There is refreshments of various kinds in the side rooms there. She gestures down another series of doorways. And you are free to mingle with the other guests, should you so choose. However, you are not to mention your status with our Lord to any of the other guests. Is that
Very well.
understood?
I see no issues. How about the rest of you?
Balcony B, got it.
This just sounds like one of my normal parties.
You see her look over towards Avery.
Avery's going to look around for the balcony, figure out where it is, and start walking.
The Lord is very pleased to have you arrive. You are our honored guest. Enjoy your stay. May the Lord's favor shine over you. And she bows before slinking off down a corridor.
Vanitas will mirror the bow.
So, Avery, you start heading towards the balcony box. Mel, what do you do?
With that sort of curt reply of balcony B, got it. They actually headed to the to the balcony box as well.
All right. So Avery and Mel, you begin heading towards the balcony box. Aridia follows you, Avery, but Mel, you do notice that Mariana does slink off and begin to. She seems to be surveying the location.
Mel
Silas.
just nods at that.
Yes.
What do you do?
What an interesting conglomeration of people saying this to Eleanor.
Kindred of all walks of life. And
Clearly.
almost all clans. Pretty much anyone with any form of representation within the Camarilla.
Well, I guess we don't have to deal with them for a little bit. What do you recommend? I agree. Let's do it.
Yeah, great plan, Scream.
Avery's wolf dog apparently trying to commune with the four of you. Bobby.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a few things for you and the serial killer.
Yes. And I prefer the term artist.
Well, artist, here's a little crane. I'm going to give you one every birthday.
Oh.
Well,
Why, thank you.
anniversary.
Death Day.
Yeah. As
Well,
for you,
thank you.
Avery, here, an old combat knife.
Avery
I'm gonna
takes
give
it with a peculiar gaze.
And the guy died on me when he took a grenade. Told me I needed it. I don't think I can really use it.
Don't need it any longer.
Let's say if I need it, I'll ask.
Understood, Avery says, and reaches down and carefully slides it into the side of one of her boots.
Then Mel pulls out a slab of meat and hands it to the dog. It's wrapped in plastic wrap, so...
Avery will take a piece of it and offer it to Nova.
You offer it to Nova. Nova finally ceasing their sounds.
By the way, Nova is very well behaved. Like, she would not be barking incessantly.
Yeah, Nova is very well trained. Obviously, you as a someone who has trained hounds for most of your life. Also, the
somebody.
fact that the blood bond does help out a lot.
Yeah, Nova would not be making a sound.
Nova's very polite.
Unlike somebody.
She's giving me the most bombastic side eye possible right now.
I'm sorry, I think we haven't met, so I can't give you anything. Sorry. Mel says to Silas.
Yeah, who are you?
Y'all walked off already, yeah? I stayed at
I
the
didn't.
spot.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're still there? Okay.
I would say that this conversation's probably happening as everybody's kind of pulling off in separate directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mel's just trying to catch everyone before they're gone.
It's not very polite to ask one's name before they offer their own.
My apologies. My name is Vanitas Livo Rosfield. At your service.
Silas Wright, it's yours. Kind of bowing slightly.
What brings you to this, other than, I'm assuming, your sire being Eleanor?
Eleanor,
I think we are what brings them here.
Eleanor nods.
Huh?
Silas, these are the fine folks who retrieved you for me after the incident that would have made this reunion not possible.
Oh, you're the liability. Nice to meet you.
It is good to finally meet you. I'm Dr. Mel Morrison. Yeah.
Liability, glancing at Eleanor, I'm not entirely sure I follow, but the pleasure is mine.
I may or may not have leveraged the fact that the prince would have probably murdered us all if you were not accounted for.
Wait, you were lying about that?
Oh, no, not at all. That is absolutely something that a prince of a city would do.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
You'll
I
have
prefer
to
a threat on my
fill
life to be
me
genuine.
in on this incident when we have more time.
Flirting
But
was involved.
anyway, she's always been good at maneuvering through court,
at this point.
as you've experienced firsthand. Something I hope I have picked up in our time together.
Unfortunately, that was mostly what I was raised for. Politics were, very cutthroat. A fact that has not changed in the 179 years that I have been alive.
Why doesn't that shock me?
Mel's just taking another second to adjust their reality.
Oh,
Oh
right.
my god, there are
Mind the
ancient
new-
people.
Mind the new blood. Still getting used to this.
So
There
they
is-
they know when I'm from, I guess. Then.
They would have the general estimate. They would know that your sire is 178 years old. They also know that you're from the Victorian era, but they wouldn't know exact key facts.
Okay.
Well, I'm off to the balcony. See ya.
Well, I'm gonna head to the bar before we head to the... You can meet me.
You do look rather famished, Silas. I think perhaps, in case things get heated, it might be best to operate on a mostly full stomach.
I might have to take you up on that offer. Clearly, I'm not looking well.
Yeah, yeah, all of you can see that he looks like a
Like a
starving...
homeless man in a rich encampment. Or like a homeless man in a mansion.
Yeah,
They could make
his-
it cat.
his suit is like 2 sizes too large, just from how skinny he has been made.
He's starting to look like Mel in their normal outfit.
Yeah, he is extremely bony looking. I think I will try and get a general idea of the crowd we're maneuvering around. And she looks over and you can see Arne Vanitas's sire, is currently mingling with the crowd. Specifically, she is standing with a very eclectic-looking group, cackling alongside them. Since it seems that the other one is just socializing for fun. She puts a hand on your shoulder, Silas, and says, "I'll see you at the balcony."
Yes, I'll see you there. And I guess he's gonna go over to the bar and in an attempt to get something else to eat.
Yeah, each of you, Silas and Vanitas, both of you head over towards there is like an actual standing bar where you see a bartender standing behind, and you can see that the drinks are very evidently, not alcohol. And you can also see off to the side there is a, what appears to be a butler or waiter, standing next to a table with a registry on it, in front of a long hallway full of doors. And you can see there are vampires entering and exiting these frequently.
Vanitas is going to wait for Silas to order something. He's interested. He would.
Is there like a menu?
Yeah, so you do see, there are like small, menus. Specifically, there is the, menu regarding victims, including various things such as blood type, appearance, level of intoxication. There's also, you can get fresh blood in the form of drinks, which have been spiked with various things, ranging from various high class alcohols to other substances.
We'll care a lot more about what's in your foods than we did back in my time. Like, I'd never cared about what blood type the lamb was when I ate it.
Well, us as night creatures are very particular about our taste. And, well, with the 21st century on its way, there's a lot of different tastes that you can find on. You can curate it.
Dylan, you're cutting in and out pretty bad.
Am I? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't have the fan on, do you?
I do. What part of that did you guys hear?
Bits and pieces.
Well, he said, well, us as night creatures have very particular, and with the century we are currently in, there's lots of new tastes to discover.
What's wrong with a simple sandwich?
Well, we would throw up.
Silas looks up from his menu in horror. What?
We can't eat human food. Did no one tell you that yet?
I've been awake for 20 minutes.
Eleanor, you brought him straight here after waking him up 20 minutes ago?
There is so much about being a vampire. And we have... She looks over at a clock. Only about 4 more hours before we have to meet with the most powerful vampire in the entire city. Perhaps the entire state.
Well, I guess we'll teach the late bloomer some things.
I'm older than you.
Food is complicated for us. Some can eat food, although we cannot gain nourishment from it. Others reject it outright, their bodies immediately reacting. The most we can do in that case is hold it down long enough for people to see us as normal before purging it. Unfortunately, blood is the only real nourishment that we gain. For younger vampires, this is less restrictive. You can feed on the blood of animals, on less fresh blood. But only the blood of mortals can truly slake the thirst.
I see.
That being said, death is not a necessity. And she looks over to the butler. There being a sign on the table that says, "No overfeeding." Sometimes it is preferred.
God, I just realized what's gonna happen.
Oh?
See. Wi-Fi crashed.
Oh! Uh-oh. Can't believe Dylan fucking died.
Hunger got him.
You just see Vanitas fucking like glitch out of existence for a moment.
Turns
He
to
just starts-
ash.
He briefly starts tweaking.
Yeah.
Skyrim
Literally.
object stuck in a table. Starts
Yeah.
tweaking out.
Anyway, I sent his yellow uniform.
Very good work.
Thank you.
Yes.
You also, because he's from like more than a century before now, he would probably take notice of Vanitas's uniform because he's wearing very feminine clothing. He's wearing high heels as well. This would be very strange for him.
He hasn't gotten that far in his life yet. He just walked with cars and lights and shit. He's very overstimulated right now. It's taking every part of his willpower not to crash out.
If he was a normal Victorian man, he probably would have exploded by now.
Yeah. Composure's only a 2. Slow down.
God, he's it's a good thing he's a vampire, otherwise he'd have to brave the Taco Bell 5-layer burrito.
Dude, he would fucking turn to dust if he ate a Taki, bro.
He would.
Okay, and he's English, so he doesn't even understand the concept of spice.
Oh, God.
Give this man a blast immediately.
Okay. Anyway. Well, I mean, I don't know what to select. He picked nasty people only.
If you're looking at the the alcohols. The selection ranges from various high-class liquors.
I was gonna use this as an opportunity to quote unquote select my scene queen thing.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's a
think
couple of options for that.
that's what I think I'm gonna go for.
Bartender, he's Victorian. Get him something with opiates in it.
Oh,
Your
One,
lucky mail's
that's a
not there.
very good guess as to what I selected.
the bartender, a Nosferatu, goes, one opium for the Victorian boy. And then he slowly turns, see him gather blood, which appears to have been chilled in a cooler in the behind him. And he begins mixing up a drink before placing it in front of you.
Oh, good. I thought we were about to Caprice on this shit. Well,
Would you like a bendy straw? He holds up a silly straw.
Eyes dilate like a cat. Yes.
The bendy straw, the epitome of class.
You have never seen a more ostentatious straw. This must be what the kings of today drink from.
Can I keep it?
It is a colorful plastic straw. The vampire bartender just shrugs. It makes no difference to me.
I like this guy.
What about you, red-dressed twink?
Give me what he's getting.
One more opium and blood. I also must add, you are absolutely slaying in that dress.
He like puts his hand on his hip and he says, "Oh, I'm always serving."
Just as I am, but in the bartending way. He then places a glass of viscous blood in front of you.
You go, girl.
I'm just going to assume that this is the time traveling Nosferatu that placed the lost symbol in the last session.
Yeah. The vampire bartender also does the wrist thing at you.
Yes. Vanitas turns to Silas and he says, "So are you like Captain America or more like Red Skull?"
America has a captain?
I like to imagine Eleanor, every time he references something modern, Eleanor whispers in his ear what it means.
Yeah, Eleanor
It's exactly what's happening.
standing next to you, giving you pop culture information. But also, she is extremely old too, so it's literally like a grandma trying to explain something her kid explained to her. You see, you remember the funnies on the newspaper?
The funnies?
The silly cartoon pictures on some of the pages.
Oh,
The
sorry.
jests.
Those didn't exist in 1870.
Oh. Oh. You see her experience a
had-
small existential crisis?
We had political cartoons.
Oh, yes, those. So they started creating ones after, the printing press. They improved on it. And now they can make those, but they're funny, and they're also in color.
I see there's been many other innovations that I'm unaware of.
Now, I really have to ask this. How did your people feel when my people helped America win the war?
Really didn't matter to me.
Oh.
I had no stock in your country, nor was I alive during the time.
Oh, fair. Thought I would ask. You're the closest one I know to then. Eleanor, how about you?
She shrugs. Politics, I don't even remember what vampire war that was. I think George Washington was a Ventru?
I can see that.
No, that was Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
He
I
killed
get the
many
mixed
of
up.
Lincoln Vampire Hunter is canon.
When the name Abraham Lincoln is brought up, there is a solemn silence in the room.
Piano music stops.
Many a good kindred fell to his axe. He also invented the suplex, a technique we were sorely unprepared for.
Is it true that he loaded stakes into his muskets?
That sounds implausible. But so does everything else he actually did.
That checks out.
Scream is crashing out.
She has too many hunger dice.
She's pissed. She's about to go full white, losing herself to the hunger, losing herself to the frenzy.
Well, it was great catching up with you, Silas. You should take a trip over to my nightclub sometime.
I will also say, both of you, if you have hunger that is above one, so I think just Silas, you will be able to slake one.
So it goes down to 2?
Yes. And also, this is opium.
Yes.
Which, because it is infused into the blood, actually affects you.
Ah,
So both of you are experiencing an opium high.
let's go.
You'll get to enjoy plenty of these with me at my club.
This isn't very good opium. I've had better.
China makes nothing but the best.
Yes, I know. I was there when they made the trade.
I was there during the Opium Wars.
Now, would you like to accompany me to the balcony?
I guess we should head that direction.
RNA,
So-
I'm heading up.
I'll be up in a moment. I'm just catching up with some old friends. Anyways, I tore out his eyes and then fed them to him. It was the funniest thing.
Oh shit.
Kept screaming, my eyes! What did you do to my eyes?
Vanitas and his sire being the most unhinged vampires.
You know, I used vicissitude to turn a man into a pickle. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
I wonder if his name was Rick.
So the two of you head up towards the balcony box. Avery and Mel, would you like to do anything before they arrive?
Mel is just sitting there explaining to Avery the steps and process to get the golden chocobo to get to the island that doesn't appear on the map and get the Knights of the Round.
Avery
From Final
does
Fantasy VII.
not care about anything that you're talking about. Avery is very uncomfortably scanning the room and keeping very close to Araya.
Yeah, Mel is trying to explain video games to you, which is nerd shit that you've never bothered with.
However, Avery is a very good listener, so she's definitely using her active listening skills to make you feel like she's paying attention to you.
Mel is actually paying attention to the same thing you're paying attention to, and is just trying their best to fill the silence.
You know what? That's fair.
You can see vampires all around you, and actually, as the rest of you arrive, I will drop this into general as well. This is the interior of the theater, except darker. Oh god, why is that so compressed?
It's so compressed.
Oh man, that is compressed.
Chunky.
But I get the idea.
And as the rest of you arrive, you can hear music playing throughout the hall. There's a whole wide variety of sets, ranging from classical to more contemporary music. Specifically, Vanitas, as you are a purveyor of the contemporary arts, you would actually recognize a lot of the more modern music that's playing is grunge music, which has
Nirvana.
become very popular in the last few years.
Ah, smells like Teen Spirit.
Notably, there are various very, very high-profile bands, which you are unsure whether or not they are vampires or they're just here.
Quick, I need to tell Kurt Cobain to not to do something.
You mean get a haircut?
Yes, but with scissors and not something else. Oh, and Courtney Love cannot be trusted.
Wait, I'm from the future. Eventually, after one of the sets, the lights dim further as you notice a lot of the more mortal individuals of the crowd, including the band, begin to leave. You can see that doors appear to be secured, and a strange chill washes over the room. And out on the stage, you see an individual walk, dressed in this brilliant black and gold sort of combination of classical and modern fashion. A tall, swarthy, pale man, black hair with streaks of white, a long beard, trimmed into a very fine, sharp, angular shape, hair spilling over down to his shoulders. The air about him is commanding, oppressive. You can hear the murmuring of the crowd dim. The hushed murmur of the undead elite slowly fading to silence. And the man on the stage clears his throat. Brothers and sisters, children of the night, my kindred. He pauses, his gaze sweeping the crowd, eyes catching like shards of ice. You see the pale, almost white, glowing pupils look up towards your box for a moment. Tonight brings another year, and with it another chapter in my beautiful city's story. Over the last year, we have witnessed growth, the likes of which has not been seen since the Dark Ages. A society in which kine and kindred alike walk the night. A society in which we are free to unlive amongst them, to feed, and to still uphold the masquerade. Under my stewardship, the city has seen growth for kin and kine alike. It has prospered for 100 years, and will prosper for centuries more. He steps down a step, his voice growing louder. In 1997, we have withstood many threats, both from without and within. The Anarchs grow restless, whispering false promises of freedom. The Sabbat growl at our borders like rabid dogs, their bloodlust unchecked, their souls long since lost. And yet, we stand. The Camarilla endure, because we endure, because I have kept this city intact, and because you... He points a hand out, sweeping it across the crowd. Each of you have played your part in maintaining our grand masquerade. A smirk tugs at the corners of his mouth. Some of you more willing. A ripple of uncomfortable laughter breaks through the still air. But let us not dwell on past disobedience tonight. Let us look forward to the change I see on the horizon. His tone sharpened. Centuries of calculation and precision and ambition evident in his voice. Seattle is safe, so long as I stand vigil. When tremors shake the power structures beneath us, when old blood stirs in torpor, when technology we barely understand threatens to unravel our veil of secrecy, when the kine are no longer blind, and when some among us, yes, some in this very room, hunger for more than their share. When everything seems to stand at the precipice of oblivion, I stand to maintain the balance. The new may frighten us, but the old ways stand eternal. We shall stand eternal in my golden city. He lets silence fill the room once more, before his tone softens just slightly. Let 1998 be the year we tighten the bonds of tradition. Let the old ways be our shield, and our unity, our sword. I offer protection and prosperity to those who remain loyal. And to those who defy me, know this. I am not a forgiving prince, but I am a fair one. He raises a crystalline glass filled with fresh vitae. To the Camarilla, to the Masquerade, and to the Night Eternal. He raises his glass before drinking deeply, the room following. And a clock begins to toll. Midnight. The dawn of the new year. Enjoy the festivities, my friends. I will be seeing more of you in the future. I wish you all the best. He takes a bow and leaves the stage. A tenuous, polite applause fills the room. And the lights once again brighten. After a little while, the sounds of murmuring, exchanged looks between kindred, the stress evident on each of your sires. The room slowly begins to return to its previous merriment. Another musical set begins. And as it does, all of you are startled by a voice behind you. The Master will be seeing you. All of you turn to see the mousy secretary standing behind you.
Well, Von Kuss will stand up and get ready to walk.
Mel
Each of
gets
your-
adjust their bag.
Each of your sires
That's it.
stand. Aradia offers you, Avery, her hand.
Avery instead offers an arm to her.
She takes it, sidling up very close to you, evidently extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, Avery is doing her best to mask how uneasy she is. This isn't her first rodeo walking around with superior officers, but
And as each of you file slowly out of the balcony box, you're led down a long, heavily guarded hallway. Each of the sets of guards stepping aside to allow you to pass, eventually reaching a very, very Baroque-looking VIP room. The secretary woman steps up to the door, holding it open,
Vanitas will walk through.
Do the rest of you enter?
Yeah,
Mel
Avery just
gives
wants
a-
to get
Yes.
this over with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Each of you step inside, and you see a very, very nice room. Pretty much everything is trimmed in gold. Red accents lining the walls, the black wallpaper making the room feel almost like a cave sitting in the middle of a void. Chairs are lined out for each of you. Very comfortable, very fancy chairs, and there is a fine wooden desk. Behind it, a throne. And resting in that throne, twirling his glass of vitae, the Prince of Seattle.
Vanitas will bow.
The Prince seems to smirk a bit as you do this, and he looks to the rest of you.
Mel will give a polite bow. As polite as they can make it.
Avery,
Avery's a soldier, she doesn't bow. She stands at parade rest.
he seems to catch his eyes on you for a moment, but then he looks over to you, Silas.
Got food in my mouth. Hold on.
He's still drinking his drink.
Heresy! Guards! Murder this man!
Silas will do the standard, like, in court bow.
You, three of you, perform a bow. Avery, you stand at attention, and the Lord leans back in his chair and he says, "You may all sit. Please."
Vanitas will sit.
Avery was gonna offer the chair to Aradia. Where are the sires?
There appears to be a chair, a slightly nicer chair, next to each of the ones which you were assigned for your sires. My. It is so good to see all of you. Those of you who are my acquaintances, and those of you who are the new bloods. Quite the entourage this century. And I've heard that you've already done quite a bit.
It was my pleasure.
Of course, of course. Your work to aid my dear friend Eleanor are greatly appreciated. Now, let us end with the formalities and get down to the brass tacks. Each of
Thank you,
you
boss.
are relatively new to this afterlife style. And as such, I'm sure that you have many questions. Questions which I intend to answer. Let us begin with the important. I'm sure that your sires have done excellent work in preparing you for the world around you. What you are, what you should avoid, what you need to do to survive. And, most importantly, where your loyalties lie. So, I will not bore you with reiterating details there. However, I would like to go over some of the important rules, let's say. The traditions of the Camarilla. I know some of you were fortunate, forced allies of the Sabbats. Such thing has been forgiven in your case. Obviously, I am a progressive prince. I believe that some rules need to be broken in order for our species to adapt to the sands of time. I have brought each of you and your sires here because I believe that variety is the tool that will bring about the golden age of our kind. Each of you possessing something very valuable. But enough about that. Allow me to explain to you the tradition. First and foremost, the ever-important masquerade. I'm sure you've heard it mentioned many times. I'm sure that you've had it explained many times. So allow me to simply enforce why it is so important. We, kindred, are a cut above the mortals. We are capable of immense feats of power. We live eternal. But there are very few of us. Within the city of Seattle, there are only, excluding those of us in this room, about 150 tick. And even that many struggle to maintain their ways of life amongst a population of millions. That being said, powerful as we are, capable as we are, humanity remains something that we have yet to master. Something that some believe cannot be mastered. The masquerade exists to protect the delicate balance between us and humanity. It serves the purpose of ensuring our safety as well as theirs. Without the masquerade, we would have billion standing against our 100. Weak though they may be, any sufficient numbers can overpower even the mightiest warrior. As such, I'm sure you can understand the importance of maintaining the delicate balance, ensuring that we remain myth to the common folk. The second tradition, domain. Thy domain is thine own concern. All others owe thee respect whilst in it. As such, you exist within my city with my permission, and with my infinite hospitality. As such, I would hope that you would treat me with the utmost respect, as I would if I were in your domain, and as I will in respect to your personal home. The third tradition, progeny. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. As an important part of our delicate balance, there is the issue of overpopulation amongst kindred. Too many means overfeeding. Overfeeding means people will be missed. People being missed means investigation occur, outrage, and, as such, the destruction of our very kind. Your sires received my grace to bring you into existence, or to allow your continued existence. He looks over to Eleanor and Silas as he says this. And I expect you to do the same should you decide that you wish to embrace another. Remember, it is on your head should you do something so reckless. Fourth, accounting. Those thou create are thine own children. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. As such, you, as childer, are expected to follow your sire's laws to the letter. Should you break their tenet, should you disobey them, not only you will suffer, but they as well, for failing to ensure that you are on the right track. Fifth, my favorite tradition, hospitality. Honor one another's domain. When thou comest to a foreign city, thou shalt present thyself to the one who ruleth there. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. This is part of why I wanted you all here. It is extremely important to me to know all who exist within my domain. Both for the sake of the safety of my domain, and so that I may show proper respect and hospitality. As I said, I am a generous ruler. And I wish to ensure that you prosper within my domain. Finally, the sixth tradition. Destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belongeth only to thine elder. Only the eldest among thee shall call the blood hunt. Now, within the Camarilla, there are many of us. Many of very different walks of life, and of course, this will lead to disagreement. But there are still few of us, and we must behave as civilized people. As such, these disagreements amongst Camarilla shall not result in final death under any circumstances. Not without my permission. Those who step out of line will be punished. But you are not the judge, the jury, nor the executioner. Should you have issues with others within our family, you will bring them to your sires, and they will bring them to me. As for those who exist outside of our laws, the anarchs, the caitiff, the Sabbat, these people chose to live as animals, and as such, you may deal with them as animals, so long as you maintain discretion in doing so. Are we understood in these rules?
Crystal clear.
Perfectly clear. Yep.
Excellent. You see, this is why I take on children. I knew you would pick good ones. All of you are very clearly very, very smart. And I look forward to seeing you move up in this little family of ours. Now, on to the business at hand. I expect all of what we discuss from this point onward to be secret amongst us. It will not be discussed around those who are not in the need to know. It will not be discussed amongst your family, those humans who are amongst you, and it will not be discussed amongst your ghouls. We have a problem. A problem which has begun to gnaw at me. You see, we stand at the precipice of a revolution, not too dissimilar to that of the Age of Enlightenment. I'm sure you've all seen it around you, how technology advances at a galloping pace. There was a time when I believed that we could ignore it as a passing fad. These computers, telephone, the television, all trinkets that the humans would forget about before descending back into a more primal state. Unfortunately, it seems that this is not the case, at least for now. And as such, we must accept the way that things are turning to be. The World Wide Web allows the sharing of information at the press of a button. Telephones allow people to send signals and warning across not just cities, but entire country, around the world. And now I am hearing whispers of a strange and impending event. This dawning epoch, this age of reason, the new century, the year 2000. It appears something is going to happen. They say the year 2000 will have an effect upon all this technology. But I don't know what. Every time I look into it, I get a different answer. Some say that it will result in an apocalypse, the end of the world. Others say it's nothing more than a technological glitch, a blip in the system. Perhaps a day or a week without the trappings of technology. Others say that this is, well, notions that only a Sabbat member. Personally, I do not believe that it goes that far. However, I like to be prepared. I like to know what's coming. Unfortunately, I am short-handed at the moment. Your sires are each busy with their own work. Aradia with our little Garou problem. RNA with taking care of the mortal. Mariana with keeping tabs on our friends in the Sabbat. And Eleanor with making sure that none of her family members are trying to cause problems. And so, I call upon the four of you, my new task force, my confidant, my soldiers. And I do not ask this of you lightly. There will be danger involved, I'm sure. But I promise you, I am very generous to my servant. Now, for what I have to ask of you, your very first assignment. There is a caitiff, a cast-off, a lone vampire who has come to my attention. One who possesses a tech savvy, which has promise. This kindred is related to an individual who has drawn our eye. As such, I believe it is his duty to assist us. That being said, he is not within our territory. He takes a map and lays it on the table. And I will set this in general for now, but I will create an important documents for it later. This is the Seattle area. And these are our holding. Along with the other territories around us. As for our friend, he is within the Anarch territory of Auburn. These territories are little more than no man's land, a bunch of cast-offs and Anarch gangs vying for control. You will see little resistance there. But you should still remain vigilant. There are always those agents who seek to interfere. I have what I believe is the address of this individual. So I ask you this. Go into Auburn. Seek the boy's help. And gather the information you can. Are there any questions?
Do we have to worry about resistance upon any territory?
Resistant. Well, these Anarch holds, especially the one that separates the Seattle holding from the Tacoma holding, act as more of a no man's land. There is the possibility that there might be some Sabbat agents in the area, but if you keep a low profile, it is unlikely that they will be able to cause problems. Additionally, there are many different groups vying for control within this region. They will probably be more concerned with each other than with you. Again, a low profile will be your best friend.
Do we have any kindred watching the area?
We
Someone
have
who
a
may know it better than we do.
That is actually something I believe you should ask your dear sire. Mariana has been in charge of maintaining eyes over the area. She will be able to provide you with as much information as possible. Other than that, unfortunately, it is difficult to maintain strong surveillance within the region due to the nebulous nature. So long as you remain without the borders of the Sabbat holdings, you should not face meaningful issues.
Mel nods. Goes back to reading the board, the map.
I believe I must be on questions, or what is to be?
Sorry, what did you say? You cut out a little bit.
Oh, I believe I'm out of questions about the other two.
You're cutting in and out, but I understood what you said.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
The Lord looks over to Silas and Avery, as you two have yet to speak.
Avery is simply waiting patiently.
No more questions? Excellent. It is good to see kindred with initiative.
I am all for the uptake, and I'm sure we can get this matter settled for you in due time.
I look forward to it. I am a busy man, but I will ensure that your reports reach me.
Very well. I suppose we should move on and find a place to plan out our escapade.
Yes. He looks up at the clock and says, "It appears the hours of the night draw short. If I make a suggestion, I recommend you prepare tonight and set out the following evening."
Very well. I do have to get with Sebastian. I need to talk to him about the auction I delayed before.
Ah, yes, I heard about that. No problem, I hope.
None that I'm aware of.
Good. Then I believe it is time for all of you to take your leave.
Vanitas will bow before heading out of the room.
This time Mel will curtsy, even though they don't have a shirt, and then leave.
Avery will offer Claudia her arm again.
Aradia will bow towards the Lord before taking your arm. Excellent. Oh, yes, and before I forget, Newblun, happy hunting. Each of you.
No.
Oh,
Mel is giving an awkward laugh with that.
Nervous laughter.
Vanitas gives a very sinister laugh.
as the two of you laugh in two very different tones, each of you file out of the room, and the door slams shut behind you. Avery, you see Aradia immediately exhale a breath which she had been holding for the entire conversation.
Avery just pats her hand.
I hate talking to that man face to face.
I quite enjoyed it.
I'm not saying anything until I leave the building.
Mariana says, yes, I think it's best if we take our leave before we start talking.
Well, I'll be at my nightclub if any of you need me.
Ah, great. Are we dealing with... What are we doing?
We have to go make contact with one of our Lord's associates and
I'm just
bring them home.
trying to think of what I need to bring with me.
What'd you bring on the last mission?
Stuff that worked on humans, but not on vampires.
Ah. We may have to
So-
bring some of it up to code.
Above game,
Uh-huh.
would you guys like to basically fast travel to Vanitas's hideout for the planning phase?
Works for me.
Are we gonna
Mel-
continue this tonight? Because it's already 10:15, and I know at least one of us has to go to bed.
That is exactly what I would like to ask. Would you guys like to get planning done tonight, or would you like to save it for next session?
I'd rather do the planning the same session we're gonna do the mission.
That's fair. That way you guys remember exactly what all you have and what all you've
Yeah.
done. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, as each of you, each of your sires having duties to attend to, take their leave, offering to remain in contact with you should you need them during your planning phase. And each of you pile into Vanitas's limousine. Silas, you never being in a limousine before,
Let alone a car.
It's-
Or a car.
or a car.
Not a car.
It's literally Dio inside the fucking car.
What kind of carriage is this?
Yeah, it's a long luxury carriage with no horses.
So, Silas, I take it you've never been in one of these before.
No.
Well, to put it in terms that you may understand, it's a carriage without horses. And it drives very fast.
See.
It gets us from point A to point B like that. Very useful. Minus the fuel cost, but I can always handle that.
It does seem like a pain. Have to put wood in your car every time you need it to go.
Well, not wood. See,
You get
it
the
runs on-
concept at least.
you get the concept. It's fuel from creatures known prehistorically. Their bones turned into this liquid, which I believe was from these creatures called dinosaurs. And this liquid is poured into a vehicle with a combustion engine, and it allows it to drive.
Silas, you know what a combustion engine is.
A big one, yeah.
And
The very old ones.
Yeah.
The ones that ran on coal.
Yeah.
right, you don't even know what a dinosaur is, do you?
Actually, you would. However,
Vague theories.
vaguely, you would also have Victorian era diagrams, and those were
What do you
there were
mean?
basically people were playing Bionicle with skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do
Wait,
you
you
mean
mean the
the
Triceratops wasn't bipedal?
T-Rexes? T-Rexes use their tail as a weight to balance themselves? No, that's not how that works. They stood upright.
Wait, you mean their head was on the other side of their body?
Oh, have the rest of you introduced yourselves to our friend Silas here? I know Mel has.
The rest of you being me, she says, not looking at any of you.
That's Avery. She's the introvert.
She gives you an emphatic middle finger without looking at you.
Case in point.
This is a completely alien gesture to you.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that
you might
means, but
recognize it
okay.
as this.
That
Nelson says, pulling a thumb out and biting it.
you've heard the term "fuck you" before, right?
Well, that one's a classic. That's as old as time.
Perhaps.
Well, that's what that gesture means.
I see.
I may have thrown the odd "fuck you" in the past.
Now, do you have any questions, Silas, about the modern day and its implements?
Not at the moment. I think right now I just need to get accustomed to my new surroundings.
You will need to do that. Be wary. Once you step into the nightclub, you might explode. Or your brain will.
I might explode?
Yeah, they set up 4 traps that, when you step on them, blows up like mines.
That's only on Wednesdays. No, I'm.
Interesting.
No, the lighting might overstimulate your freshly reawakened brain.
I'm
yes.
sure that I will be okay.
I trust you will. And don't assault any of my customers should the hunger take over. Ask me and I'll provide you with some food.
Understood.
Great. Sebastian, what's the ETA?
Oh, we got about 10, 15 minutes left. Shouldn't be long.
Alright. Well, while we're here...
Should have
Oh.
grabbed the cooler.
I could make it 5 minutes if I start running red lights.
Put it in sport mode.
Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah.
I'll just bribe the officers, don't worry.
You hear the engine begin to rev up. The ride becomes slightly more bumpy.
So, Silas, what's your hobbies? What do you like to do? Exactly.
I spent a lot of time in the lab. Right before I went under, I guess. There was this new science coming about called chemistry that's still around.
Oh,
It's like alchemy, but cooler.
I believe you will
Yes.
make quick friends with our friend Mel here.
do you want a? You want to see my lab?
I would love to.
Also got a library and a computer.
I believe I'll probably end up spending a lot of time with you folks. So, Sebastian, ask our contractors to build a lab section in my haven.
Yeah, I can look into it.
Thank you very much.
You suddenly hear the horn honking. Get off the fucking road! You hear somebody scream from outside. You're driving on the fucking sidewalk, you psycho!
This isn't New York, so we can't hear. I'm walking here.
I'm walking here!
Hey, Tony, you see that guy?
Yeah, I see that guy. Do you see that guy? If there's nothing else you guys want to do or talk about for the time being, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.